Dorian is still bearing down on the South Carolina, North Carolina coast. In fact, still a Category 2. Maximum sustained winds 105 miles per hour. Hurricane warning still in effect essentially from Savannah northward into North Carolina. Let's talk about where the Hurricane Center has it going. By the time we get to 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, winds down to 100, and it's essentially off of Savannah and pretty far offshore. By the time we get to 1:30 on Thursday, it's getting a little closer to the coastline of South Carolina. And again, it doesn't have to make landfall to have a major effect on the South Carolina coast, especially with the storm surge and also the heavy rain. It then sort of tracks right along the coast. Now, I will say this, some of the models have it a little further inland, and that would be huge, especially in terms of which side of Hatteras it travels. If it goes to the east of Hatteras, it keeps the highest winds offshore. If it just goes 60 miles to the west and then passes west of Hatteras, then they will get the brunt of the storm. The good news is it's going to really race very, very quickly between Thursday morning and Friday morning. This is 2 o'clock Friday afternoon. It's well out to sea already and moving into the Atlantic. So the good news is it's not going to sit stationary like it did over the Bahamas. Here are the wind fields. So again, there's the red. That's the hurricane force winds buffeting Charleston by early morning on Thursday, kind of riding right up the coast. I think most of the South Carolina coast, Charleston north, will have hurricane force winds, at least gust to hurricane force winds. And I think that will continue to get into much of North Carolina, around Nags Head and also Hatteras and the Outer Banks. I think we'll get buffeted quickly with hurricane force winds Friday morning into early Friday afternoon, and then boom, the storm field is offshore. Still providing pretty good winds, though, even up to Atlantic City. 40, 50 mile per hour winds are possible as late as 5:30 in the evening on Friday. All right, let's kind of break it down a little more for us. Let's talk about winds for us. 6 a.m. Friday. Winds 24 mile per hour here, gust 31 Ocean City. Not bad. Midday, 29 mile per hour wind gust here near 40 in Ocean City. And then by 6 p.m. on Friday, 50 mile per hour winds possible in Salisbury, 53 Ocean City, and 46 in Georgetown. And not too much of a big deal in the 20 to 25 range in the immediate metro area. And then by late Friday night, early Saturday morning after midnight, begins to subside a little bit, although winds are still over 40 miles per hour on the Delmarva. So what does that mean? Well, in terms of rainfall, the GFS European, pretty good agreement. There's your heavy rain, Norfolk through North Carolina into South Carolina. We're talking anywhere from 5 to 10 inches. For us, less than an inch. Rain's not a problem. What are the effects for us? Well, winds 15 to 30. Higher in southern Maryland. Tidal flooding is possible, and flooding is not likely from rain. And then showers heavier south and east, breezy and much cooler. So we're going to see a low impact for the metro area. It's already a tidal flood watch up for parts of the bay. Different story for the beaches. That's a moderate impact. Why? Well, we got winds 35 to 60. We have waves 6 to 10 feet. Beach erosion, rip currents likely, rain and showers, some heavy as we go through the day on Friday. So a moderate impact at the shore, a low impact for the metro area. Both of those impacts occur on Friday.